Welcome back to DAGryffyn Hobby. My name's Dave. In this video, we're going to take a closer look at the Postwar Lionel Chesapeake and Ohio 624 switcher. I've had this engine for a while. My uncle gave it to me a while back with some other stuff, and as you can see, it is not in the best condition, and it didn't want to move when I put it on the track. So I'm going to take it apart and at the very least get it running. It's still going to look like it's in pretty bad shape, but at least if it works, it'll be a step in the right direction. I really like this system for locking the shell on, the one screw at either end with the tab that goes in. I think that's a pretty neat way to do it. So you turn those and the top comes off. Really easy. It's got front and rear lights. It's got a broken wire. I don't know, is that front truck supposed to be that loose? It's got the E-unit. And a motor that needs some significant servicing. The lever on the E-unit moves nicely, makes good contact. The drum looks dirty, but it turns pretty nicely. There we go. This is not the best soldering iron, but it's certainly the cheapest battery-powered one I found. I think I paid 12 bucks for it on Amazon. If I remember, I'll put the link in the description. Looks like the bracket for the rear light is permanently attached with rivets. There was only one screw holding the mounting bracket for the rear truck in. Looks like the spring to center the front coupler is broken. And the automatic coupler was not wired up. Was there even a shoe on there? No, because the shoe is gone. So that makes sense, I guess. Maybe the shoe got ripped out and they just took it off. I don't know that I've ever taken one of these apart. I have a 623, I think. And maybe I've serviced that, but I don't really recall. I should service it and I should run it. Maybe I'll do that next. Use a little contact cleaner. All right, I've done some cleaning on the axles on this truck. The whole thing could probably be soaked and really cleaned up a lot better. But this is a quick service, and we want to get it back on the rails and see how it works. It rolls pretty nice. I also just gave the wheels a quick wipe. I would say this needs new rollers. I wonder if I bought any recently. Doesn't look like I got any rollers. So I guess I'll be putting that on the shopping list. These are definitely rusty. A little bit of an improvement, not much. Even if they weren't rusty, I would still think they would need to be replaced because they've got a decent groove right in the middle. I wonder if I should just get a whole new pickup plate so I can rewire in the automatic coupler, even though I never use it. You know, this wire looks horrible. Well, I did a really poor job of resoldering in a wire. The screws that hold the pickup plate on should have washers on them. And this, there's a screw and a spring. I think that spring is shot, and it's also not sitting under the plate, so maybe it's missing a washer. I could be wrong, but this looks like a later E unit. Is that possible? Or am I just not used to looking at them anymore because it's been a while? We need to get in there and clean that up a little. The contact cleaner is great for this because it gets in there and cleans not only the drum but also the fingers. Ideally you want the whole thing clean, but what you really need clean are these contact points. So I like to just turn the drum if I'm not taking it out and just kind of rub it with a Q-tip a few times. Looks like it's wired correctly. The motor is awfully dirty. That is really, really bad. Definitely not going to run properly like that. It's like really thick. Many people have recommended to me the fiberglass pencils, the scratch pencils or whatever for cleaning this. And I keep meaning to buy them, and I keep not buying them. But a little contact cleaner and a Q-tip does do a pretty decent job. These brushes are filthy as well. But they look relatively new, so I'm guessing somebody serviced this at some point. It's just gotten really dirty since then. It looks like this shaft might come out. Take the clip off. Washer, then there's a bearing, and there should be another washer. Comes out. Is there another washer in there? If there is a washer in there, it's stuck in place. Another bearing. Okay. I put the one bearing back in place. I put 102 on it. Maybe an actual thicker grease would make more sense. I don't really know, but this is what I'm doing. Oh, I'm also going to put it on the shaft where it's going through the body of the motor. Then the next bearing goes on. Oh, never mind. Hold on a second. I think I found that washer I was looking for. So, washer, bearing, lubricant, the last washer, and then the clip goes on. A little bit of play in that. That's not great. Could probably use maybe an extra washer or two. I don't think that's enough play to be an issue, really, but we'll keep an eye on it once it's running, and maybe it will need another washer in there. Cleaned off the brushes. When you put them in place, make sure that they spring back. This one's strong, this one is very weak. Probably needs a new spring here. Well, it's not supposed to come off, is it? Or maybe it is. I don't know. I've never taken one of these apart. At this point, everything's cleaned up. I got a new light bulb here. I think is okay. Can't really tell. There we go. I found a screw that fits. I don't know if it's a little too long. I guess we'll find out when we put it back together. So the motor sits in the plate like that. And this part goes into the motor truck. And it gets secured from the bottom. And as I'm looking at it right now, I put the front together wrong. As you can see, the front truck doesn't turn. So you just take these screws out, flip that bracket around. Well, you know what? That doesn't seem right either. Maybe I have the truck secured through the wrong hole. So maybe it goes through this one. Ah, and now the spring does something. Okay, so that was the wrong spot. Okay. Truck turns. You got a little spring on that front truck. Okay, unit secured. I'll solder the wire from the center rail pickup and the front light back to the E-unit. I'm not going to worry about the rear light at the moment. So that's a quick service of this 624. Definitely is going to need more help to get it really into decent shape. But I say now is a good time to see if that did anything and if it will actually work on the layout. Okay, well, it works, which is a lot better than it was doing about an hour ago. I'm very happy with that. When I first hit it with power, it didn't do anything. I believe it's because those center rail rollers are just, they're gone. They're not very good. And when it finally started going, it was sparking pretty badly. It seems to be sparking less after a few laps, but it was pretty significant. So I think if I'm going to use this thing at all, it at very least needs new rollers. Right now I'm running it with the E-unit locked in forward position because it kept switching position, probably due to the poor conductivity of those rusted rollers. A basic service and this thing is now able to run again. There are a few parts I'd like to replace and then maybe try my hand at making some railings and clean this thing up a bit. But for the moment, I have to say I'm pretty happy with the results. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time on DAGryffyn Hobby.